There's a sparkle in your eyes. I feel.
What's up, guys? My name is Jasmine. For those of you who are new here, welcome back to my channel. I am a mom of one, this beautiful little 4-year-old right here that you're looking at. And today I'm going to be showing you guys her wash day and a fully detailed routine of this style. Jumping right into the video today, we're going to be mainly talking about maintaining curly hair, keeping it detangled, the foundation that I do when washing her hair, the best style, the best way that I style, some of the things that I find important when styling her hair, just to maintain it to last a week or even more. The style I'm going to be showing you guys today is a style that lasts way more than a week. Actually, it lasted for me about 2 weeks before, but I usually try to wash her hair every week. But yeah, so we're going to start in the sink. This is how I grew up getting my hair washed. We use Pattern Beauty for our foundation, shampoo, and conditioner, and I lather it on her scalp. I mainly focus on the scalp. I don't really do all of her hair because, I mean, it gets washed as the shampoo, is running down, but the main part is scrubbing that scalp. And of course, I let her help because why not? Wash day should be fun, right? So yeah, washing her hair in the sink is the most easiest way for both mommy and baby because it's hassle-free, less tears, and she can just relax while mommy, does what I need to do. And yeah, she enjoys helping mommy out. Of course, she wants to do everything. She's Miss Independent, so I get what needs to get done, but she's up there trying to help me out and does what she likes to do. Nova does have dry scalp just like me and her dad, so using Pattern Beauty really helps keep it moisturized and refrains from having dry scalp because we don't wet and wash our hair every single day. But I take my time and I make sure it's fully and completely rinsed out of her hair. Nothing is left, especially because she does, deal with itchy, dry scalp. So leaving any product in her hair when it comes to shampoo and conditioner is a hard no for us. So I take my time, I rinse her out all the way, and then we move on to conditioner. Now, this may seem odd for the next, but when it comes to conditioner, we actually use leave-in conditioner. We do the leave-in conditioner from Pattern Beauty. Again, we don't bother with regular conditioner. I know that sounds really weird, but we really love this leave-in conditioner, and it lathers so well, and it's so good for detangling Nova's hair. We treat it, when we're using it, we treat it like regular conditioner. We even let it sit in for a little while before doing a soft rinse, and to occupy our time while we let it sit. Little mama loves to sing her some little songs.
Everybody just had a good time.
Hey, get it.
And then use your mind. Oh, yeah. I'm riding my horse to the hotel. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna ride my
Do you sing that song at
horse
daycare?
Yeah.
At school every day?
Ride till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the bed.
Rushing in the bed, I don't know what to do when I cry. I'm gonna ride my horse to the hotel. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Once I've given it a couple of minutes to lather and do its thing, I do go in with cold water, and Nova does not like this part, y'all. She gets so upset, but I really try to preserve her curls and make sure that we are limiting the frizz. So I do, just as I would do my hair, and do a cold rinse for rinsing out the conditioner. And I do leave a good bit of it in there. I just kind of do a overall rinse, wring it out, throw it in a bun, and then we move on to the chair so that we can start styling her hair. Some of the products and tools that I use are a wide tooth comb and a Denman brush. I use the wide tooth comb to actually detangle her hair, Denman brush to do things like brush all the hair together or define the curls. When styling Nova's hair, it's really important that the front is in as many tiny pieces as possible. I like to section off the front of her hair as many sections as I can. The front is what usually gets the most frizzy. Now, when I don't detangle her whole head and then start to style it, usually I do her hair in the same type of sections. So I typically just separate and part the hair out as needed and then brush through it as I'm working each section. We're gonna go ahead and section off the front half of her hair, and then we're gonna pull back the rest in the back, and we'll work on that later. The style that we're going to be doing today is going to consist of 6 separate sections, and in each of those 6 sections there are their own separate sections, if that makes sense. So first, what you're going to want to do is start off by parting it straight down the middle and working with each side separately. And like I said, when it comes to detangling the hair, I detangle it section by section. Her hair, because of the way I style it, is not all that tangled when I wash her hair. So I'm able to section it off the way I need to and then detangle each section from there. Some of the products we'll be using today are Eco Styler, the gold one, just for putting it on to the little sections of her hair to keep it laid down, as well as some black rubber bands and a bristle brush. I use this like soft and hard-sided brush. We are going to be putting a total of 2 parts in this first section, which is going to create 3 separate sections on its own. So starting out with the first part, and I just kind of eyeball it to make sure it's like kind of even, but starting with the first section, this is the smallest section. So what we're going to do is brush this, put a little bit of Eco Style on it, and then take the little bristle brush, brush it together, and then take 1 rubber band and tie it up and leave it there for now. We're going to come back to it, but we're going to leave it right there for now. Depending on the size of the section, depends on the amount of rubber bands that I use. A lot of people are kind of against rubber bands, but rubber bands, I have not noticed them breaking Nova's hair or causing any damage. When I do take them out for wash day, I cut them out. I do not like pull them out. And so I think that definitely makes a big difference, but I try not to like put too many in her hair, even though I do use a lot in this style. But depending on the size of each section depends on the amount of rubber bands I use. So in this tiny section, we are going to only use 1. Now we're going to move on to the next part, which is going to be our second part for this half section. And then for this second chunk of hair, we're going to split it down the middle into 2, and you'll notice that each section gains another part, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain, but you can visually see. And so we're going to do the same thing that we did for the first little rubber band section, and we're going to add some Eco Style gel. We're going to take the brush and brush it up together and use 1 rubber band and tie it up. Now taking the second section, you're going to go ahead and do everything that you do for the other pieces. Add Eco Styler, brush it up together. But now what you're going to do is connect the front piece to the back piece. So now what we're left with is 3 separate sections, 2 of which are already in rubber bands. All of these are going to be combined together. Now, before you combine them, go ahead and add Eco Styler and brush it back like you would the other sections. And then as you add each section, you can brush each other piece that's already in the rubber bands into the section so it kind of flows and blends in together. And you're going to do this with both pieces. So you have a total of 3 pieces connected together. And on this section, you're going to see that I'm going to use 2 rubber bands at one time just for strength and, last ability. But we're not done yet. We still have a section left of this 1/2, but this is what you should be looking like so far. Now this last and third section, you're going to split it up into 3 separate squares. That's what we're going to call them, some squares. So we started with 1, then we get to 2, and now on the top section we're going to do 3 squares. And go ahead and follow the same steps that you do for the first square as you did the others. Add your gel, brush it back, and use 1 rubber band to tie it together. Now for this section, you're going to start connecting each square a little bit sooner. So we're working on the middle square of 3, right? So we're going to go ahead and do what we do, add our gel, brush it back, and then go ahead and take the front square and add it into the second square. You're not going to do anything with the third square yet. I noticed that when you add them one by one, keeps it from tangling up and being confusing. It also looks a lot neater in the final result. So take the time and add section by section. Go ahead to your third section and add your gel, brush it back, comb it through, add the 2 that you've already put together, connect it, and go ahead, and you'll probably need 2 rubber bands for this section as well, and tie it together. Once that is tied together, you should have 2 little mini ponytails. What you're gonna do is take some rubber bands and you're gonna connect those. This will have the ultimate connector. This is the end connector. And we're gonna tie that up, and then we're going to put that into a braid. That way it's all cohesive. This is basically one ponytail, just with a little design in the front to avoid frizz that will help her last the entire week. So doing it section to section like this really does prevent the frizz. Her hair stays and lasts for so long. I'm going to go ahead and use the Denman brush and brush out the ends. The product that we're going to use to put the hair in braids is going to be this from the Curly Hairline Twist by Weedad. And I just grab a little scoop and I add it to the ends of the hair, and then I proceed to put it into a braid. I secure the braid at the end with, of course, another rubber band. And boom, just like that, you have the first section of her hair done. It's basically like putting her hair in 2 ponytails in the front, except you have a style in the front to help prevent frizz. Now go ahead and do that to the other half. And boom, you should have something that looks like this. Guys, I'm telling you, this is going to prevent frizz for the whole week. No more sons coming home from school, okay? Now with the back, you can kind of freestyle and really do what you want. But at this point, this hairstyle takes so long that I just go ahead and put it into 5 separate sections of braids. So I split it down the middle, and then with the back piece, I put up the front piece to get it out the way, but with the back piece, I'm gonna go ahead and split it into 2 sections. Now these pieces are going to be thicker pieces, so we are going to use regular hair bows to tie this portion up together, but of course we're gonna comb through it with the wide tooth comb and get it nice and detangled. Split the hair in half. You should have 2 sections that look a little bit like this, and follow the same procedures, except the only difference is that we take our Denman brush and we brush all the hair together, just so that all the hair, it's a bigger section, so I want to make sure that it's detangled and brushed into a ponytail rather than, wide tooth comb and Denman brush combing out is definitely different. But other than that, you follow the same process as you did with each little square in the front of her hair, and use a regular hair bow to secure the ponytail in place. If you want to do a braid out like for the weekend, I would advise braiding each section without a hair bow, just so that you don't have any indentions later on at the end of the week. I have done this before and it's come out perfect. It still looks good and it still lasts, but that's just a little food for thought. We're gonna put some braids in it. Baby girl's hair is just so long, and I really think it's because of the way I style it and the protective styles and all the braids and things like that. Just really help promote hair growth. Go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. This is kind of what it should look like. And once the other side is done, you should have 2 cute long braids in the back. And then you can move on to the last and final little top section of the back. For this section, we're going to do 3 parts. These sections are a bit bigger, like I mentioned earlier, but you should have 3 sections. I mean, if you want to make them smaller, by all means, you can do that. It's probably going to save you a lot of time and effort later on from having to do her hair so soon. But I follow the same exact steps, y'all. Gel, brush, tie it up, braid it. The routine is pretty simple, and you can do as many sections as you want in the back of this. But honestly, for me, 5 is enough. At this point, I'd just be ready to be done with her hair because it's just so much. But I really do love doing her hair, I can't lie. And yeah, braid it up, Denman brush it, put a little styling cream, and the baby gonna be good to go. This is probably one of my favorite hairstyles that I've come up with. I do different hairstyles every single week, but honestly, this one I can run back to back because it really does last for so long. It helps maintain that pretty curly hair. It's not tangled even after 2 weeks of taking it out. I'm telling you, this hairstyle is just perfection, and it's so cute. Nova loves braids. And so this is a good way for me to have a whole bunch of them in her hair without it being too much and it still being like practical. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hashtag down below more Nova vids if you guys like these videos featuring my child. Other than that, I will catch you guys in our next one. Bye.